G'day viewers, welcome to another weekend edition of TFU. And well, it's been a TFU week as normal. I want to open talking about Facebook. As any YouTube creator knows, Facebook are a bunch of thieving fucking assholes who actively reward pricks with their spammy, linky pages for stealing YouTube content. If you don't know, the Facebook algorithm works, they've made this explicit. They bias in favour of native video uploaded to Facebook as opposed to linked videos on YouTube. In other words, they're explicitly saying if you want more traffic to your Facebook page, then upload videos, don't link to them. And seeing as all these popular Facebook pages don't do a goddamn motherfucking thing themselves, they just use other people's content. It's like, oh well, I won't link to the YouTube video, I'll rip it, cut out any identifying information and re-upload it. The people who do this are complete fucking assholes, and Facebook actively rewards them for being assholes. It was put best by Hank Green of the Vlog Brothers, who said, oh yes, Facebook trumpet how they're a big video destination to rival YouTube, and all they had to do to reach there was to lie, cheat and steal. Well, this week they admitted to the lie part, namely how much people watch video on Facebook. Again, if you're an active YouTube person, you probably know Facebook have been pushing the bullshit metric that if 3 seconds of autoplay on a video happens as someone scrolls through their feed, they count that as a view. Apparently, advertisers didn't know that Facebook were up to this level of fuckery. And Facebook admitted it this week, and they've basically said, oh yeah, by any rational measurement, the figures we've been saying for video views have been exaggerated by 60 to 80%. Now, if they're admitting to 60 to 80%, the real figure is like 90%. They will have been exaggerating video views by so much. In terms of actual engagement, like someone actually sitting and watching a video, I think it's a safe bet to say then less than 10% of the people Facebook have been claiming have actually been watching videos. I hope this comes back to bite them, but they're so fucking big they seem untouchable. But I just wanted to rant because I really fucking hate how Facebook rips off YouTubers and lies about standing out. I mean, sure, they've got content detectors for the big media companies, for the record companies, TV and movie studios. They've got them covered, but individual creators who they are actively punishing by rewarding fuckwits who rip content. Look, if you want to make me happy, all you have to do is introduce something like YouTube's 3 strikes rule. If one of these shitty link pages is found guilty of ripping off content 3 times, delete the fucking page. Until you do that, Facebook, I should say, until you do that, until you make these fucking pricks pay for stealing independent creators' content, you're lying about caring, okay? So fuck you, and I hope the advertisers fucking do a class action lawsuit to get you for your fucking lies, because you fucking deserve it, you fucking pricks. Money's all that counts to prick companies like this. God damn it, that's really personal. That one, to me, is really personal. I want to shift focus totally away from me to the world of science. Now, if you know black widow spiders, and Australia's redback is of the same genus as black widow spiders, you will know that name comes from the fact that the female tends to eat the male after mating, which, you know, seems like a big price to pay for a root, but guys are like that. But I read a study this week that revealed quite a few interesting things. And I'm going to jump to the payoff point of this article. They said, oh, don't try to anthropomorphize this, like relate this to humans, because nature doesn't work that way. But it's impossible to avoid linking this to human behavior in your mind, I think. As irrational as it may be, it's really hard to resist doing it. Because, okay, the first big thing I learned about the males getting eaten by the females, the males actively do this. They throw themselves into the jaw of the female while they're mating to distract her a bit, she munches away because apparently that increases the chance of procreation. How crazy is that in terms of propagation of the species? How much do you want to have offspring that you commit suicide to increase your chances of having offspring? That kind of seems like the opposite of most male humans, just as a by the by, trying to avoid paternity. But yeah, that was the first big reveal to me, that the male black widows, redbacks, tend to actually voluntarily submit themselves for eating because it makes them more likely to have offspring. But here's the other thing. They don't just jump on the adult females and do it. They court them a bit. They do all this thing in the web, like strumming the web, and that's a courtship ritual. And the longer the courtship ritual goes on, apparently, the less likely they are to be eaten. So if you can really impress the female with your strumming, the more likely your chances of success. I'm not saying that's the only reason guys learn to play guitar, but that's the only reason guys learn to play guitar, to improve their chances of action, whether with the opposite or same gender. And here is the really fucking weird thing that came out of this article that I didn't know, and it's really kind of fucked up. See, adult females will eat adult males. Adult males apparently practice by having sex with immature females. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, in the spider world, dudes who can't safely get action rape little girl spiders. I'm not saying that's directly related to adult male humans who can't successfully have relationships with adult male... I'm sorry, I've been drinking absinthe all night, and I just felt like coming out and having this rant, so words are getting mixed up. But, yes, the thing about practicing on immature females in order to try and get ready to impress an adult female, there's a creepy sort of human that seems really relatable to. And reading this about spiders really icked me out, quite honestly. And I just want to round out being icked out and sexuality. I've been covering this topic a bit. Australia does not have marriage equality yet, and the government is proposing a ridiculous, fucking expensive, non-binding plebiscite to just have public discourse on the topic of, hey, do gays deserve basic rights, or do we continue to treat them as less than human? And this ridiculous fucking line, a bunch of people are saying like, oh, why are you opposing a plebiscite? Why do you think people will be hateful? You're demeaning the Australian public by saying there will be a lot of hate speech. We have, just in the last week or so, had evidence from the fucking Liberal Party, the party that runs the government. First, a bunch of pamphlets that have been circulated with ridiculous fucking lies from some ultra-right-wing splinter group of the Catholic Church that's actually run by members of the Liberal Party, saying that, oh, it's not just about marriage equality. If you have marriage equality, that means that you have to have forced safe schools, sex education. Oh, you're going to force all the kids to be gay. Just this ridiculous, moronic conflation of unrelated things. Oh, and I also saw this utter garbage human, Lyle Shelton, who's the spokesperson for the Australian Christian lobby. And I say Christian because no decent Christian I know will have anything to do with these hateful scum fucks. But he said, oh, look, here's a picture of a rally with people holding signs saying, yes, marriage equality, and yes, safe schools. Therefore, forcing one and the other. It's like, no, just because people who support safe schools also support marriage equality being made law doesn't mean anything about the safe schools education. Although I personally think it should be everywhere because it's really helpful, and why these people don't want something in schools that says to kids, hey, you know, it's actually okay if someone's gay, if someone's trans, if someone's bi, if someone's intersex, all these things, it's a spectrum. Telling kids that things are okay is not the same as saying, kids, you don't have to be these things, which is what these fuckwits like the ACL are saying, which really makes me worry about what's going on in their tiny little fucking heads. And one more bit of evidence. One of the most disgusting people in the Liberal National Coalition, and it's saying something in that crowd of fuck-ups to say you're the most disgusting, George Christensen from Queensland. Queensland state law was recently updated to make the age of consent for anal sex the same as for vaginal sex, which is the last state to do that, and it just kind of seems, yeah, those things should be the same. But he, of course, went on, oh no, it's the gays, they're taking over. And he said, because it was actually making the age of consent for anal sex 16, which was the age of consent in Queensland for vaginal sex. He said, oh, now you've just got to have 50-year-old men just preying on 16-year-old boys. And it was like, first, if you want my opinion of that scenario, a 50-year-old man sort of going after a 16-year-old boy, my view is, ew, which is the exact same view of a 50-year-old man going after a 16-year-old girl, 50-year-old woman going after a 16-year-old boy. Ew, you know, half your age past 7, people. We all know that. That's what makes it acceptable, okay? George Christensen's obsession with saying the gays are somehow worse than the straights is fucking repulsive. He's fucking repulsive, and he's a fucking hypocrite, and I can't stand this shit anymore. I mean, I don't know how many times I'm going to go there, but these fuckwits are going to keep coming out with stuff, so I'm going to keep coming out and saying it.